rock and roll.
YouTube is a site we often take for granted. It's a platform where passionate creators pour their hearts into sharing their work with us, bringing joy and entertainment into our lives. People go to YouTube to learn new things. Some just want to be entertained and escape the stress of the everyday life, or to partake in a community with other like-minded people. Like every other social platform out there, is home to many different small and special communities. Some are just for fun and are quite innocent, but there are also some which host the most depraved souls out there, with the most disturbing fetishes and fantasies. Please take this as a warning, because the themes of today's video are very mature and disturbing, even if they are edited under the YouTube guidelines. This video will show you some dark corners of YouTube which are quite hidden, or at least you think they are. Also, if you didn't know, this video follows the worst YouTubers Iceberg Chart, and this is the fourth part in the series. There is also a supercut version of the first 3 layers on my channel. So join me today as we go down to explore the worst YouTubers out there. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the video. Whitney Wisconsin. Whitney's channel was deleted for obvious reasons.
And I wasn't able to truly show who I was. And now that I am able to do that, I don't care what people think of me.
I returned the favor and I gave her dog. I sucked her dog's dick while she was asleep.
The only thing I could find out is that she had a decent sized channel with around 6,000 subs in 2015/2016. If I'm correct, because I didn't find almost anything about her on YouTube besides 2 videos. The 2 videos which I did found, and both of them did have a lot of views. One of them was called Spit or Swallow, a very educational video indeed, followed by her second masterpiece called Girls Masturbate 2, where she goes in great detail about the things mentioned in the title.
But yeah, it's really good for you. Some girls are gonna be like, ew, that's disgusting, you swallow, that's so gross, blah blah. And that's not true. They obviously don't realize what's actually in it. And those are the same closed-minded girls that only have stationery and their guys go out and cheat on them with girls like me.
But Whitney made a cult classic video that shook up the whole internet called A Completely Normal Hobby.
So a lot of you have written me with questions, and this video is going to be to answer them, but I am also going to show you the sexual uses of dogs according to their breeds,
while recommending it to other women. The title was 10 Reasons Why Girls Should Have Sex with Their Dogs, where she posted a 3-minute and 6-second video about the reasons why it is totally okay and acceptable. So, are you ready? And yes, I'm going through the whole list. So, let's go. Women in history have practiced it for pleasure, documented from ancient Greece to Rome. Number 2. Dog tongues can reach places that are hard to reach otherwise. Number 3. Nobody can get pregnant. Number 4. You cannot get STD. Number 5. It has been around since the beginning of time. Since 2000 before Christ, there have been even cave paintings about it. Number 6. Legal in some countries and states. Because of that, no reason to worry. Number 7. Some people find it a turn on. Number 8. Convenience. You don't need to go out and find somebody. Number 9. Your companion doesn't nag or complain. They're silent companions. And number 10. You can easily train them for unwanted humping in front of people and family. I spilled my coffee while hearing this, and I wasn't prepared to hear such stuff on YouTube. I mean, there are so many things wrong with this. First of all, yes, you can get STDs. Secondly, because it's freaking legal doesn't mean you should do it. And then compare it with ancient Rome and Greece is just a pinnacle. Like they stoned people to death there and even watch gladiators fight with freaking animals for fun. That doesn't mean we should do that now. And like the last point, they don't nag or complain. This is just absurd. Things also to mention that she was arrested for indecent exposure because she was making adult movies in public places. Some people think this was all just a public stunt to draw attention, but there are videos with her and dogs included on the internet. But this was the point where I kinda drew the line for my research. The most bizarre thing is that she even made a follow-up video on November 13, 2016. She released more reasons to justify her hobby. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is just sick. But there is something more here. Remember Leafy from the first year? Leafy stumbled upon her after wanting to making another troll video, and they somehow fell in love, sort of. And now I'm a bit angry I didn't talk about this in the first layer, so let this be my apology to you. But to make this a bit shorter, Leafy trolled Whitney apparently. At least this is what I could find out because various videos were deleted. Keemstar, a guest of the Iceberg, also made a video on 5th April 2016 called Leafy and the Dog Lover, just to add gasoline to the fire. This was like a huge drama a few years ago, and this isn't sadly the end of Whitney's story. I also found out that she apparently killed a 3-day-old puppy because she force-fed him with hot dogs instead of milk to apparently make the dog stronger, and then the poor puppy suffocated because of this. Then she tried to sue the hot dog company, which is just ridiculous and it doesn't make any sense, but yeah. And this is just a sad story of a poor puppy. But is this the end? Well, sort of. But again, she gained some attention with videos she posted where she explains that she is known as the dog lover person in town and she only wants a normal life for herself, which is now impossible. Like I said, because she tried to make adult movies in public places, plus the whole dog loving thing resulted in her even getting fired because the customers would tell the boss about her online activity. Is this all a huge public stunt or not? I will leave it to you to judge. Well, enough of Whitney. She's definitely worthy to have a place on this list.
This Whitney Wisconsin thing has to be one of the worst decisions of my life. But I mean, I was 18. I thought that if I was just myself, people would accept me. But they don't.
And I must have been moaning pretty loud because Molly ended up coming out and catching me and her dog in the act, having sex in her living room.
Kara the Wolf. The furry community is quite an interesting culture. If you didn't know about them, they're a community that has interest into anthropomorphic animal characters. Such would include adding attributes like human intelligence, facial expressions, speaking, and so on to an animal, just in case you were not familiar with them, even if the recent times many big YouTubers put a spotlight on them because of some controversies. The furry community is nothing new. It's a movement that started all in the 1970s. As time went on, along we got introduced to a thing called the internet. As a result of that, the community quickly jumped on the train. With that brief explanation of the furry community, I want you to meet Kara the Wolf, formerly known as Yami the Wolf, which is a member of the furry community and a YouTuber also. He was generally regarded as a respected member of the furry community until some info was leaked from his Twitter account. Shane, a pretty big YouTuber with 20 million subs, decided to talk to Kiro. Some thought it would be a troll video, but in the end it was more like an inside video into the furry community, where they would talk about the history and what the community is about.
Or when do you wear it? Do you wear it to work?
No, I'm a fry cook / dishwasher, so I don't want to get this dirty at all. I mainly wear it when I'm either home alone and I feel bored. I'm like, hey, let's get in my fursuit, or I'm out in the city I love seeing people's reactions when I wear it into like the town or the city, and it's just really fun to do.
Wait, so you go to work and you're just a normal person. Do the people you work with know that you're a furry?
No. I kind of keep it on the low.
But Shane, like many others, didn't have a clue what was Kiro doing in the background while making some claims that were later proven to be false.
I already love him.
Second thing, I just hit 8,000 subscribers! Thank you guys so much!
He deserves a lot more than that. Guys, please go to Kiro's channel and subscribe. Can we get Kiro?
Shane stated that Kiro was a cool guy and even told people to go visit his channel, which resulted Kiro gained 50,000 subscribers because of this, which is an insane number, even breaking 100,000 subscribers later. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but somehow I think that the furry community did get a lot of bad press lately because of many sick individuals between them, giving the community a really bad reputation. Kiro was just one of them. So what is his crime, or better to say crimes? This is a quite long rabbit hole to dive in that really needs a separate video, but for now let's go to September 2018, where screenshots of Kiro's private Telegram conversations were posted on Twitter, where he was accused of being a zoodist. What is that? Well, I also didn't know what a zoodist is, so I googled it. Well, if one derives sexual pleasure from cruelty to animals, he will be considered a zoodist. Kiro responded to all that the messages were fake and that his Telegram was hijacked by an Iranian super hacker, also a country where Telegram was initially banned. He tried to wiggle himself out of the situation with no success. You see, I think we need to mention that Kiro had a dog which was his family dog. What important is that the dog later died because of a kidney failure. So where is the crime here? And why I'm keeping this a bit of a secret? Well, because I wanna rather puke than read this out loud. So Kiro was having sexual relationship with his dog. Not only when the dog was alive, but also when the dog later died. So necrophilia was also included. Because of this, many YouTubers dived into this deep and wanted to investigate this. There is also a site called Beast Forum, a site dedicated to people like Kiro with a special taste and desires. And there is a special post when someone asked when it's the right time to have fun with its 6-week-old puppy. And I'm not kidding. People quickly connected the dots to Kiro, and he started to erase his tracks. They also found out that Kiro was allegedly raping his dog since he was 14, which is just nuts. Even in 2018, the NAPD got some videos where two guys, the other one being his boyfriend at the time, had their way with two dogs in a brutal manner. People easily connected the clothing pieces that Kiro would wear at the time, but also the location of his garage, and could find out that he was behind this. Sadly, the video was a few years old at the time, and the judge and the NAPD could not charge him because of this. Even if this is considered a crime in the state. If I'm correct, his boyfriend at the time was convicted, but Kiro managed to avoid any sentences. This is also the time where he starts to post again on YouTube, where he even stated that the police raided him and didn't find anything suspicious, and that he was depressed and that he wanted to go back to the furry community because they helped him a lot. At the end of this entry, let's take a quick look at his apology video. So there are a few red flags here.
But what happened in January completely surprised me. The police were able to obtain a search warrant, which blew my mind. There's honestly nothing there to justify a search warrant. But then I saw the actual piece of paper. Someone called the police, accused me of having illicit material on my computer, and the warrant was to check for distribution and storage of it. If this would have been true, I would not be here talking to you today. I would be in jail. They took everything, my cameras, my phone, my computer, all my hard drives. So after they took my stuff, I felt utterly hopeless. Without my video equipment, how could I fight back? They took the only thing I could use to help prove my innocence. And also, the New York police got involved. And through all of that, there were never any charges against me. If there's any evidence being used against me, the police would have found it.
First of all, he acted very surprised because the police get a warrant. The 4th Amendment says the police needs to have enough evidence in order to obtain a search warrant, and one phone call wouldn't be enough to just kick a door down and get in. And just because he isn't prosecuted, that doesn't mean he isn't guilty. That means that he can still be under investigation until proven guilty. But like I said, this is a very huge rabbit hole that deserves a separate video. And this iceberg entry is here just to give you a general idea about the entry and the person we are talking about. And I hope this will satisfy your curiosity. If not, I can even make a deep dive on Kira the Wolf if you want to. So let's go to the next entry. Puchi Entertainment. This entry is about a quite small channel with only 2000 subs. And if you don't know about this channel, I feel so happy for you. Now, let me ruin your day. Puchi Entertainment is a Chilean YouTuber and he's very well known in the Hispanic YouTube community. He started his channel in 2014 at the age of 10. He would do mostly game related stuff from gameplay videos of Five Nights at Freddy's, Slenderman, but also ACP Containment Breach. Plus, he would from time to time usually sketch his stuffed animals. A thing also to note is that he also painted animations that were kind of violent. Mostly they were gory illustration combined with much blood. A thing which is a bit odd for such a young boy. 2018 was a year where he began to display some traits of an internet troll. At the end of that year, he also published a very disturbing video called Tortazo Slap, and I'm really sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. In the video, he would inflict minor abuse upon Jason Kruger, which was his cat, by forcefully shoving an open tin of cat food into the face while restraining him, showing that this kind of behavior isn't something new to him. This video is now deleted, but this wasn't the end, sadly. On December 19, 2018, a video surfaced where he was violently abusing his cat, picking him up by the tail and dropping him multiple times. Not only that, but he tried to kick and step on the cat. Because of that, the cat later died in the hospital from the injuries caused by him. But this wasn't the end of his terror. He also made a video where he threw 2 newborn kittens in a dirty toilet, causing the kitties to drown. This sparked an immense amount of interest not only in the Spanish community but worldwide, with many users calling for his arrest for animal abuse. What made the whole thing even worse was that he claimed he didn't care about the cats and that he would even keep adopting cats only for the purpose so he could kill them. After the 2018 cat controversy, several YouTubers emulated Puchi's mistreat of animals to gain attention, which is the most wildest thing to read. But yes, that was and still is a thing. And someone whose dog died after 12 years of being together, I can't even comprehend why are some people so evil. And this guy was at the time 17 and had almost 60k subs. You heard me right, he got over 100,000 views per video and his freaking YouTube account is still up, but at the time of recording this video he has only 2,000 subs. But the fame and the attention he got and even the community he built around toying and murdering cats makes me so fucking angry that I can't even explain it. As a person who loves animals and despises people like this, I think there is a special circle in hell where all those twisted seekers rot. Sadly, this is just the tip of the iceberg and it gets much worse after this. Puchi is a guy who would do anything to gain attention and spread hate. He says that he began to regret his actions after going to asylum and meeting new friends, and clarifying that it was thanks to his friends that he was able to change and stop being, I'm quoting, sick in the head, and he even made few apology videos which were obviously questioned by many people if they're generally real and honest. Gagastyle. So Gagastyle is a YouTuber whose channel I first thought it was deleted because I couldn't find anything about him, and then later I discovered that he indeed has a channel with 1,600 subs. There is a channel point painting his comeback, and he really did have a comeback. And it all started like 12 days ago. So I basically scrapped the first script I wrote and rewrite the script and recorded a new voiceover for this. So let's dive into the life of Gagastyles.
Oh, este mój subskryber of the Open Gagastyle Suzma.
The description of the entry states that he was in the news because he was sexually abusing his pet goat. Well, a good thing is that I do understand Serbian, so I could read the articles in the original form and get a grasp of what is going on here. Well, Gaga, at least looking at the videos, does seem like a disturbing guy. The videos he was producing were just, I don't know, where he would goof around. Apparently kids watch it because it was funny, I guess. He would scream, swear, and also talk about a very infamous German guy with a odd mustache and the size of his... Yes, well, so this was his comedy routine, I guess. I don't know, but I do think I lost a few brain cells watching his content. The video he made generated also a lot of hate because he would talk trash mostly for attention. Also apparently the news article stated that he had around 15,000 followers on his social platforms, which is quite a decent number. Now let's talk about his pet goat. There were allegations that he was having his way with the goat, and even worse, he was actually working in a kindergarten where he would perform for kids dressed up as a Spider-Man. The thing is, he made fun of his goat, like he made a face count and changed his relationship status so that he was married with a goat. And then he would use swear words that are very common in the Balkan states because he stated that to his pet and pushed himself onto the goat. People started to speculate, but even the news article called Kurir.rs stated that those were just allegations and there isn't any proper video of him doing the deed. Maybe he only considered this as fun. But people started to say that he was sick and that he needs to seek medical attention. And also he was accused of taking photos of girls around the town without their permission. After looking at his videos, I am not quite sure if he's honest or is this all just a prank. But I'm really thinking the guy is just trolling around. I really do think he needs some financial assistance, like he begs all the time on his videos. But I also think that something is wrong with the guy. I'm not quite sure. I looked at some videos about him and I simply can't get the grasp of what is the channel about. The new videos he posted are mostly like vlog type videos where he would talk about his life, his relationship with women of the night, and so on and so on. It's quite a weird rabbit hole to dive in, and I didn't know this guy actually existed, but here we are. I don't know what to say. And about the goat allegations, I didn't find anything besides the two articles I mentioned, so I don't know if this was all just a prank, a hoax, but yes, this is Gagastyle, and let's go to the next entry. Boot666. Besides a Reddit post and two articles, there wasn't much info about this, but I still think I will give you a good idea of what is this channel about. So let's talk about Boot666 and its companion channel Boots Made for Crushing. As the name implies, it has something to do with crushing. At first glance, the channel was about crushing random things you will find around the house, but it gets far more sinister. Well, the front of the channel was quite simple, but it can lead you into a dark rabbit hole if you decide to go to its secret Tumblr page. Well, some say that Boot666 and Boots Made for Crushing are the same person, so the videos he made on the private side were all about crushing small and very alive animals. Why would somebody even do this and go so far to even post it? Well, some say he was doing it for a sexual gratification, at least that's a speculation, and also because apparently many people have crush fetishes. As you can guess, this is against YouTube guidelines, and not only that, but against the law. Doing things like this and making videos about it is punishable by up to 7 years in prison in the USA. YouTube started to slowly strike down his videos, but Boot666 still proceed to crush small animals like frogs, snails and insects. There are many examples on this iceberg how bigger YouTubers went under the radar because of their crazy experiments and other things. And they managed to be alive and well for quite some time. This is even considered somewhat of lost media because every trace of him crushing the small animals is lost. And maybe it's better this way. And I really hope that this man is somewhere locked up because of the deeds he has committed. Or at least that he stopped doing this. Brookhouse. Let's take a look at a former American YouTuber called Brookhouse. Her channel was something very familiar to everyone on YouTube. It was all about her life, sharing her unique experiences throughout her life. Her videos were about vlogs, lifestyles, and combined with fitness. She started to gain attention of the masses in October 2016, where she acquired a few thousand subscribers in one day. From that point, her channel started to slowly grow. At this time, she resided in Los Angeles, California, and in December of 2018, she adopted a pet Doberman called Sphinx. Brooke loved her dog so much that she even went so far to create a second account dedicated to her dog. At the time, she was doing many different stuff on her channel, including prank videos, which included Sphinx. On August 6, 2019, Brooke uploaded a very controversial video which ultimately led to her downfall of her whole channel. She went to upload a prank video, and if I'm correct, the problem was that the Doberman Sphinx was very playful and jumped the whole time around. Brooke didn't like that one bit, and how she reacted to it was on another level. She started to choke the dog, then started to spit, hit, and even kick her Doberman pet.
That day, the unedited footage that got leaked onto my channel, I accidentally uploaded the unedited footage of that video that I was going to upload that day onto my own channel. It went horribly wrong. And I will be the first person to tell you that what I did in that video, the way that I acted in that video, was completely wrong. No one should ever treat an animal that way, much less their own pet. No one should ever act so much so out of anger and frustration, which is exactly what I did, which is not an excuse for what happened. No matter how angry or how frustrated someone is, they shouldn't treat an animal that way. They shouldn't treat anyone that way. And I want to make that really clear to you guys. And I want to say that I am so sorry for the way that I treated my dog in that video. I want to apologize for my actions, and I want you to know that I take full accountability and full responsibility for what I did. It was completely wrong. It should have never happened in the first place. But I want you to know that it also never happened before that video. Things never escalated to that point, and it never happened after that video. That was a one-time occurrence that things escalated to that point.
Brooke at the time was a channel with over 300,000 subscribers and proceeded to upload this as an uncut video. This led to a huge backlash from the community. She then re-uploaded an edited video, but somebody had already downloaded the original and made it public again. This controversy didn't get big until the next day, August 7, on which she lost 4,000 subscribers on YouTube and losing even 2,000 the next day. Her YouTube channel and career have ultimately come to an end.
And then I see her fake spit to get the dog's attention because the dog reacts to that. It reacts to air, okay? Am I saying that's right? Absolutely not. And I 100% could see how, I'm not saying that was right by any means, guys. I just want you to know, coming from a past of training dogs, having dogs my entire life, growing up in Idaho where farm dogs are like everyone has one. I've grown up around dogs, seeing Brooke's video and seeing the hate in the comments to follow, it didn't add up to me. It didn't make sense.
Gaining over 100,000 dislikes on her last video in 24 hours, and also gained a huge amount of dislikes in her other videos. Her Instagram account was deleted because of this on August 7, and the growth of her controversy was rising. She apologized for the act and stated this was some kind of tough love. She claimed on Twitter, or X, she is not an animal abuser. Brooke also claimed that she did not spit on the dog, despite the video clearly showing it. And over 100,000 Twitter users responded to her tweet, claiming that she shouldn't own such a big dog if she doesn't know how to handle him. The police decided to not charge her for animal abuse.
I have grown from that mistake into the person that I am today, and I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity to be able to do that, because a lot of people don't even get that opportunity to be able to change. But luckily, and I'm so blessed to say that I have been able to change, that I've become a person that is so strong in my faith. I have met this amazing person right here, and things have never been better. I've never had a better relationship with my dog. I've never had a better relationship with family, friends, anyone. I just want to say again, I am sorry. What I did was wrong. And I am so grateful to have learned from that mistake, to be able to have gone through what I've gone through, because it made me exactly who I am today. And I'm so proud of who I am today, right now. And I just want to make that extremely clear for anyone who might still be confused on what happened 8 months ago, on the situation with my dog. I just want to make that extremely, extremely clear. I am sorry. I made a mistake.
Also, one thing to mention is she tried to blame Sphinx because she uploaded a video called Very Sphinx.
Just could not break him out of through training that became very problematic, unpredictable, and uncontrollable. And this is something we never could have predicted. I never saw this coming, but since moving from LA to where we live now, Sphinx attacked 4 dogs. Luckily, everyone was very, very nice. Every dog and owner that we came into contact with in that unfortunate way were very, very nice and understanding about the situation. We are so grateful for that, because if anything could have gone wrong, if someone would have pressed charges or sued us, Sphinx could have been put down and we could have lost basically everything. One time we were traveling and Sphinx actually attacked a family friend's dog, bit them, there was blood, it was an awful situation. It could have been a lot worse, and we're thankful that every time that he showed this aggressive behavior that we were there to immediately break up the situation. It was never something that continued, it was something that every single time, luckily we were there to just break up right away. As soon as it started to happen, even after the first time, even after the second time, even after the third time, we knew that this wasn't normal and it wasn't something that we ourselves were able to fix.
Where she tried to explain that the dog has behavioral issues and poor training, and even tried to attack 4 other dogs. But this story has a good end, because Sphinx founded herself a new home in a loving family which adopted her, and Sphinx receives all the care and attention she needs.
I really do miss him so much. He was such a great dog in so many ways. I was really worried that he would miss us or be thinking about us, but I know that there's no possible way that that could be happening because he's in such a good home now.
Soyoung. Soyoung, or SS Soyoung, I don't know how to pronounce that, but is one of the biggest channels on the chart. But there is always a chance you don't know about her. Like Nikocado Avocado, which was featured on the second layer, she also makes mukbang videos where she would eat various types of food. She created her channel in November of 2018, where she would do ASMR videos in combination with eating, before strictly making videos where she would eat various foods. Most mukbang channels would eat huge amounts of processed food. I would even call it almost a dangerous amount of food. Some are throwing up immediately after a video, but that's another topic. In 2020 she got into some controversy online because some of her videos can be categorized as animal abuse. While there are definitely countries around the world would eat live animals, like in the case of Korea, they would eat the octopus live, and Korea is the country where Soyoung resides. She was criticized for eating live animals and inflicting them pain while doing it. Her videos often starts with a scene where she is scared of the animal. So while you're watching her reactions, the poor animal is basically suffering. One example is a video where she pours salt into a tray of a mudfish, which makes them turn around and slowly die, while Soyoung sounds very frightened. The thing is that Soyoung has sea creatures all the time on her channel, and it isn't something that she isn't used to, but it's all for drama. I also found out that neurobiologists have long recognized that fish have a nervous system that comprehends and responds to pain. So pulling a fish out of the water is quite stressful for the creature. She was faced with criticism from various YouTubers, vegans and animal activists, including H3H3 Productions, Charlie and some ordinary gamers, who have called for her channel to even be shut down. Despite this, YouTube stated that her videos comply with the guidelines. A representative for Soyoung channel spoke with the insider, emphasizing that the content aims to raise awareness about diverse foods and cultures while providing entertainment with no intention to promote animal abuse. However, both have received their share of criticism. At the end of the day, she could leave the fish in the tank and make a perfectly acceptable intro and simply proceed to kill the animal and then eat it, and not to play around with it, making fake reactions while she is playing with the fish. In the end, this only results that the poor animals are suffering. And the last entry on this layer is about fake animal rescue channels. Like every entry on this list, this is definitely a much more serious and deep topic than some dramas we saw on the first layer. This layer already started strong, with entries like Pelucha's internet moment about promoting animals. Fake animal rescue channels is an entry about some channels that have normal fronts with not so much controversy. One of them is called Animal Source, a channel with 25 subscribers that has a video called Boy Rescues Baby Puppy Was Bitten by a Baby Dog. The title of the video suggests this is a pretty good video because the poor puppy was rescued, but it is clearly visible that the wound isn't from a dog but rather a sharp object, because it definitely looks like a slice wound. And yes, this video has 14,000 views. The comment sections share the same opinion, but there are also some in the comment sections that suggest much more morbid stuff. There are so many of these channels popping around YouTube, it is just sad to see that there are so many individuals around the world who do anything they can so they could get a few views. Most of the rescue channels are from third world countries, which begs the question of the people behind those channels ever been put to justice. I did cover much dark stuff on my channel, and I definitely went from a happy retro gamer channel to slowly reviewing more dark and more obscure games, and now we are talking about the worst people on YouTube. Where the first layer was quite fun, mostly because it was all drama, this video really got the best of me. The research on this video was pretty intense, and I left some things even out, where one of the Kiro's friends, which we mentioned in the beginning, actually fought his puppy until he broke him apart, which is the most disturbing thing I read in quite a while. And because of this, I needed to take a day off just to calm a bit down before continuing writing the script. But this is where the rabbit hole goes. And we have another layer, and I don't have anything else to say, just leave me alone and see you in the next one. Bye.